by step. So that's actually a better way to practice at first. But you should be able to zip right through these really quickly. So remember, the augmented chord is for minor sixths when it's in spread position. And the diminished triad, which I did, it was a spread triad with the fifth, with the flat five and the bass, will give you the major sixth interval. Okay, and you're once again going off the center note, above it and below it. Okay, the last set of intervals are the sevenths. Now, with the sevenths, we'll talk about the major seven first. Let me take the note, I'll take the note A, and I'm going to go up a major seven, and then I'm going to go down a major seven, so it's going to be B flat on the bass. Now, this is a really dissonant interval, but I'm going to get in my ear. Okay, that's really tricky. That's just something to practice. And once you hear those, I'm really focusing on the sound. It's hard. But you just got to be able to. You got to get real quick at it, and you will get quick at it. Next thing, we'll do the minor seventh intervals. So I'm going to do minor seventh A seven here. So I'm going to go A to G, and then minor seventh on the bottom end is going to be B to A. Once again. By surrounding the notes, you will become better and better at singing these ascending and descending. Most people have trouble with the descending intervals. That's not uncommon at all if you have trouble singing them. Most people rely on certain songs in order to learn these, and I've always thought that that was not necessarily a great way to do it, because a lot of the songs that we used to use in the old days when I was learning sight singing, people don't know songs. They know Here Comes the Bride, but they don't know a lot of the old songs that we used to know back then. So I like to pick just the center note and do that. The last interval that we have is the augmented fourth or the flat five, the tritone. Okay, so whether I go ascending or descending, it's going to be the same note since it splits the octave. It's actually pretty easy to do once you've done the other ones. I think that the augmented fourth is one of the easiest. Now everybody's, a lot of people use da, da, but if you do that, I don't think it helps you sing the descending interval, and you get so lopsided in your learning by practicing the ascending interval that you actually develop a weakness on the descending side. That's all for now. Please subscribe here to my Everything Music YouTube channel and tell your friends about it. Also, if you're interested in the Beato book, you can write me at rickbeato1@gmail.com.
Oi. Закончилось.
Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some really awesome ear training techniques and how you can start to really be hearing advanced permutations of dominant voicings. So this is going to be about hearing different extensions, right? I want you to be able to hear the 9, sharp 11, 13, and whether that 9 is flatted, sharp, or that 13 is flatted, okay? So that's what we're going to be diving into today. This is definitely advanced ear training, so if you're more of a beginner or even intermediate, feel free to go back to some of my earlier ear training videos, which you might find useful. All right, guys, without further ado, let's dive into some of these concepts. So in some videos, I'll give you a starting note, like a C, and then ask you to tell me what the next note is. But today's video is actually less about being able to figure out what key you're in, and actually more just about telling me what type of voicing is this. What extensions are actually in this voicing. So for example, if I play you this chord, I want you to tell me what are the degrees. It's less about what the notes are and more about what are the numbers, okay? Now the best way, in my opinion, to be able to figure these out is to actually build them up in your mind. Build them from bottom to top, okay? And start to actually figure out what those notes are. If you feel confident singing out loud, that's always a really great method, but otherwise it's totally cool to do this in your head as well. So let's see if we can figure out this. Otherwise it's totally figure out what those notes are. If you feel confident singing out loud, that's always a really great method, but otherwise it's totally cool to do this in your head as well. So let's see if we can figure out this first one. I'm going to give this to you as an exercise here, okay? So here we go. First I'm going to play all the notes together at once. And we're starting with just root position chords here, okay? So that means they're built from bottom to top in exact sequential order, like 1, 3, 5, flat 7, etc. So here is the chord. Now I want you to imagine the chord in your mind, sing up it, arpeggiate it if you can, or even do this on your instrument. If you're at a piano or playing the saxophone or whatever, play up the chord, see if you can match the notes. Alright guys, now I'm going to arpeggiate up a little bit to make it a little easier to hear. Alright, if you got that right, amazing job. Now I'm going to actually show you guys what the answer was. So from bottom to top, the chord actually goes like this. It's 1, 3, flat 7, 9, sharp 11, 13. So this would be a 13 chord with a sharp 11. Alright guys, let's try. So this would be a 13 chord with a sharp 11. Alright guys, let's try another one now. So I'm keeping this one pretty simple. Alright guys, so
Эй, Иванович, холодно?
alright guys, so from bottom to top, that is 1, 3, flat 7, flat 9, with that optional 5 that I did throw in there once. Okay, so this is just a 7 with a flat 9. Okay, it's a dominant 7 chord with a flat 9. Alright, let's try another one, and this time I'm going to leave the key of C. Again, it's not about the key, but about whether you're getting the tonality of the chord right. Getting the tonality of the chord right. Alright guys, so from bottom to top we've got one, three, five, flat seven, and then we've actually got sharp nine, okay? So this is a dominant seven with a sharp nine this time. Alright guys, so here's another one. Let's see how you do with this. Fairly similar to our last one, but there is actually just one note different. That's your clue. Alright, so from bottom to top, that one is 1, 3, sharp 5, flat 7, sharp 9. So this would be a sharp 9, sharp 5 chord. It's still a dominant 7 chord, but with a sharp 9, sharp 5, so we call it 7, sharp 9, sharp 5, right? Alright, so now we're actually going to get into some voicings which are not in root position anymore. So that means the notes can actually be in any order, and you're still going to have to figure out what degrees those are. So this is a bit more advanced. If you weren't really feeling ready to move on from the root position chords, then maybe hold off on this, but if you're ready, then good for you, and let's get into it. Alright, let's start simple. So I'm giving you the root, which is C, and then here's our voicing. Alright guys, so this is a C13 chord, and the way it's built is flat 7, 3, 13, and 9, okay? So that is the structure. Now the more you guys do this kind of ear training, the more you're going to start to immediately recognize these structures. Now, I'm going to give you a clue. My next one, I'm just going to change one note, and I want you guys to tell me what this next chord is. Alright guys, so this time it was a C13 with a flat 9. So all we did was take that D on top, the 9, and flat it to a D flat. So it's flat 7, 3, 13, flat 9.
Сам ты такой.
So obviously guys, we can keep going with this. We can do all different sorts of voicings in different shapes and different orders. So if you know someone who is a pianist or you yourself are an advanced level improviser, jazz musician, I highly recommend you guys try this out, because the more of these shapes you can really get in your ears, the more facility you're going to have as an improviser and with hearing what the pianist is doing when you're playing with them, and all sorts of things just like that. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found these exercises helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, consider clicking subscribe and clicking the little bell to turn on notifications, because I've got weekly videos,
Thank you.
if not more often than that, rolling out just like this one. Alright guys, thanks so much, and I will see you next time.
Google мне, блин, да, да, да. Типа того. Ну, нет, что ты как бы, да. Ну еще в чем твоя проблема-то, блин, да? Ну не хочешь, не используй, блин. А, чтобы он не гнали тебе, не предлагали тебе рекламу, или что, да. Наоборот, представь, говорил, да. А, ну да. Чё? Ассоциативный ряд. Понимаю. Хе-хе. Ой. Ну наоборот только, да. Ну нет, ну чё. Ух ты, 2021 год, 10 дни. Кстати, шрифт интересный, да. А че он так долго грузит-то все? Что это такое вообще? Наверное, все-таки там было нормально. Ладно, всё. Погнал. Бей. Бу. Лишь 4 цвета. Ну вот это и есть он самый. Да, вот это вот и было. Да, ну, все так думают. Да. Ты смеешься, что ли, Брит?